Alright, what's going on, guys? Thank you for joining us for another episode of P-Car. We are here today down by the beach. Guess what we are going to review? We are going to review this bad boy. Bad boy car, right? Just kidding, guys. It's not a bad boy car. What this is it's a 91 964 Turbo. So it's close to a bad boy car, but it's not essentially a bad boy car. It's a great car, and we're going to go over that today. Some of the things we're going to basically look at. We're going to look at the outside, the inside. We're going to give you some driving impressions, and then basically give us, some things that we like and some things that we don't like about the car. So go ahead and hit that music, Aaron. Alright, so we're at the business end of the car. We're going to end up doing some barbecue grilling on this thing later. This is the intercooler, obviously, but this is the party end of the 964 Turbo. This is where all the business happens. Look how jammed in everything is in there. But this thing is a monster. So what a lot of people don't realize is that Porsche wasn't really ready to release a turbo at this point. So in 90 and 91, they end up making, this is like a carryover of the 930 essentially. So that's why it's a 3.3 liter, and a lot of people kind of dog on this car because of that, and maybe dog on Porsche because it wasn't really R&D'd. They changed the fuel system on this car a little bit. They upgraded the CIS so it can handle a little bit more horsepower. You could actually dial this car up a little bit more than it is right now. This is bone stock factory, guys. It's a collector quality car. He's just keeping it that way. Doesn't want to mod it, doesn't want to do anything crazy to it. But yeah, that's basically, essentially this is a 964 skin wide bodied with a 930 drivetrain engine with a G50 trans on it. So I know it's a lot. I know that's a lot of numbers and acronyms, but basically that's what this is. It's kind of a hodgepodge because Porsche wasn't ready. And then basically in 94 they came out with the 3.6 liter, the actual bad boy car that everybody lusts after. But nevertheless, that doesn't make this car any less for that, because this car is a gem. This thing's so pretty. I mean, look at those wheels, look at that wide body on that car right there. That stuff is so nice. But yeah, this car is just immaculate, and who wouldn't want to own one of these bad boys? Nice thing, obviously, for a lot of 964 owners out there, this is a familiar place. The cabin is pretty similar to any 964 of the era. It doesn't need, just because it's a turbo doesn't make it super special, but it does have, if you can look in the dash here, you'll see there's a little digital area right on the clock area, and that's where it reads the turbo bar area. And that's where it's going to show you basically where your boost level and your bar level is going to be at. So it's in the RPM dial. It's the nice part about the 964 that you'll be able to see. Also, you get the turbo mats, and then you got the turbo in the back seat. When you lay them down, it says turbo on it. So you get all the turbo features. The spec on this car is perfect. It's the black on black. A lot of these came with black on tan. Make them a little less desirable in my personal opinion. But yeah, this is definitely the spec you want to go with at any level. Maybe polar silver you could do, but this is a gorgeous spec on this car. Bad boys, what you know.
Major laser.
So we're driving the turbo. Bad boys, bad boys. So driving impressions. Feels just like the 964. NA.
Reverse epic.
We're just gonna back it out and put it back in. do a review on that. Just kidding.
It's phenomenal.
Steering's tight. Yeah, he's right. It does grab. The gearing is strange. He said just fight through it. It feels like it's binding, but that's how it is. All right. So far, feels like a regular 964. Nothing too crazy. Steering's tight as usual. That's good.
How do you feel about the seats?
I like the seats. They're better than mine. These are the sports seats, so you got a little bit more bolstering. I have the comfort seats in mine, but the comfort seats are nice on a long trip. We do a lot of driving, so that part is nice. Finally out on the road where we can drive some a little bit. Now there is turbo lag. This is certainly, it feels like a 930. It doesn't come on to boost till it feels like almost 4,500. It's late. Again, guys, this is a bone stock car, so no tuning, no nothing. He's just keeping it cherry. Thing's only got 33,000 miles on it, so super, super nice car. We really thank our buddy letting us drive his car. This is not our car. That is not our house we're in front of. Trust me. We are scrounging. We are not those guys. Those YouTubers that are like, look at the house, look at this, we're crushing it. No.
Staying humble.
Yeah. We're normal dudes. We'd love to do it for a living. We're down by the beach right now, so this car, we're not going to be able to push this thing at all. I mean, speed limit around here is 35, but just to give it a little bit of a ride, just so we can give some more visual to you guys of what we're doing. And so first impressions, what do you think so far?
I think it's very comfortable, actually.
Yeah. You've been in my car, 964, you've been in this car, so what do you think? So between the two, the comparison?
Well, like you said, I like these seats more.
Yeah.
I like just the holding.
Being held in.
The ride is probably, I'd say it's about the same.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say, maybe yours is a little rougher, but not much. I mean, I guess it speaks to the quality of your coilovers. But I would say that it definitely, when you got on it just a little bit, you could feel the difference.
Yeah,
with
I almost
turbo
wonder if
punch.
I'll throttle back a little bit just so we can maybe try to get an attempt at something here. I'll shift pretty early. I won't take it to red line, but at least so we can get into boost. Yeah, it's about 4.5 you start to feel the boost. But it's violent.
I would say that's a difference.
Oh yeah, it's a definite difference, but it comes on violently.
Yes.
Good reason why these things were Widowmakers and when they were only two-wheel drive, man, because in the wet. I tell a story about this car before the bubble popped back in the day. He bought this car in 08, and he was able to buy this car for dollars, guys, in 08. This is a $150,000 car right now with this mileage and this kind of condition. 150,000 mile car, easy, if not more. I mean, there's not that many that have this low a mileage that are this clean. Most of them have been modded. This has all the original equipment on it still. This car is a beast, and it's a black on black. It's the color that you want.
It's correct.
Yeah, it's proper. It's proper, as they say. Some of the signature touches. Inside joke, if you guys can pick up on that. No, but this thing is a dream. Honestly, as weird as this sounds, unless I'm on boost, other than the sound, it feels like I'm in my car. I feel like I'm in my 964.
I get that.
Like there's not that much parallel difference. Obviously there's, you know, catastrophic price differences, but you really feel it when you get on it, you know. And then when you look out the back and you see the big whale tail on the back, you know, barring the Turbo S, this was the top of the line in 1991 from Porsche. It's meant for us skinnier guys.
This being my first air-cooled that I've ever driven.
I know, I can't believe you haven't driven my car yet.
Well, I've never asked either, so.
I gotta let you drive it. That's the first time I ever drove your car was today when we were shooting those rollers.
So the hinged pedal, the pedals, that's a different feel, man.
Oh, I didn't even realize that your car doesn't have that.
No.
I've always driven air-cooled cars, so that's just like a normal for me.
Now the hinged pedals that's a different feel.
Yeah, that's yeah, so talk to them about what that is, Aaron.
So instead of being from the top like your traditional cars are now, from the bars down and you have pedals, now everything sits at the bottom, and so you're pressing down almost over for a clutch brake and accelerator.
Yeah, all air-cooled Porsches have that kind of setup. It's
a race style. It's easier to use that way.
I'm just more hardcore motorsports. I guess I just guess I've always been doing it that way. Forgot all about it. Grew up on them, they say. But yeah, this is a special car. I mean, anytime you ever get to drive anybody else's babies, you know, it's a special event because it makes it that much better where you don't have to stomach the $150,000 price tag to get a taste of it. It's not like you can walk into any dealership and go, hey, I want to take this for a test run. That's not really possible, so.
No, not at all.
Gotta know somebody, which we're fortunate enough to. So what do you think on the steering feel? I know we're not hauling ass, but can you feel it?
It feels a lot better than my car.
Yeah.
As far as everything.
It's tight, right?
It is. I don't feel like it's heavy, but I feel like it's just right.
Super tight.
As far as the very direct. And you can really feel every little thing in the road. I do like the pedal feel now that I'm getting used to it. I feel like that's more feedback than I'm used to. But like Mike said before, just cruising around, I mean, it's like a normal 911.
Yeah.
It's docile enough where it's not beating you up. You don't feel like it's crazy hard.
Yeah, this is definitely an Autobahn cruiser. I mean, most of them are, you know, but I mean, especially this one, you know, with the wide stands, the creature comforts, doesn't have the comfort seats, but it's got the sports seats. But you know, you definitely know it can haul ass if you need to. But yeah, this is certainly a special car.
I feel like everything's tighter. Like
what's newer?
Well, that and this being the air-cooled car, everything's.
Oh, you mean as far as like the cabin?
Yeah. The cabin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's honestly a feel that a lot of people that have had older 911s that get newer 911s, that's the complaint. How big they are, like, and how cabin, you know, big they are. I mean, even compared to your car is huge compared to this, like sure. In the inside. Like, and I'm so used to being in an air-cooled car, like when I get into your car, it feels like a regular coupe almost. It's hard, you know, until you hear the sound of the car to think that you're in a 911. Because they are so big.
Yeah, everything's very, like shifter, everything we feel a lot more compact. Actually, it's probably more one with the car.
Yeah, you feel more of it has more of a sports car feel.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what cars look like, and they handle and they feel like even when we went to the museum, you saw how tight quarters all those sports cars were. There was no additional like cubic inches for comfort inside. It was like
exactly.
Pour yourself into the seat and get going.
What do you mean they don't make an extra? You know, like an extra large version?
Yeah. Sorry. Tactile feel of everything. I hate to use those cliche words, but it really does. It's the G50's got the rifle bolt feel in it.
Yeah, this transmission feels great. Like I didn't realize that rifle bolt, what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Now.
Exactly.
It's just, you know you're in gear. You feel every time.
It's like lock, you know you're in gear. Lock, you're in gear. It's like, it's almost like having a gated without it being gated. That's almost kind of the best way I could compare it to something. But, you know, it's one of those things. Dramatic driving experience. I mean, that's the best way to describe it. That's all it is. I mean, there's a lot of feels there behind it.
Yeah, and if you come off early, you just feel it.
It jerks you down.
It hates it.
Yeah, because it's pulling G's, and then you come out of the G's, and it's like, that's why it's so, like, I'm sure you've seen us in the video a little bit back and forth. When I was driving and Aaron was driving, it's when it comes on boost and off boost, it's literally like a light switch. So we didn't get a full-on like rip out of it, but you don't need a full-on rip to know what this car is about. Like, you don't need to push this car to triple digits to feel what this car can do. What better scenery, you know, to do it down by the beach, bad boy style, kind of like in South Beach, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better scenery, better time. You know, it's a little warm.
Yeah, our friend has the beach house who kept this car here. I'm sure he's a genius. Like, he keeps this car by the beach because I'm sure he keeps it down here because of that bad boy type of like setup, like, you know, the Miami type of deal. All this crap strewn. Look at all this crap in the. Somebody's beach stuff is all in the road. Gentle to the transmission. We don't want to like hard shift this thing to stay because it would stay in boost. You know,
we'd be in trouble, man.
Because then it would just be surging. We'd be lift off.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, guys, this thing's bone stock. You imagine if you threw a K27, put a bigger intercooler, and that's all, and opened up the straight pipe exhaust. I mean, this thing instantly gets another 100 horsepower, which would be insane. And this, you know, tight quarters of a car, even though it's got like the fenders, it's still like less, it's narrower than a current GT3. Aaron has videos, he's probably showing you on this video stream. You saw the two cars sitting next to each other. So you're pushing all that horsepower if you boost it up to that in this little body. I mean, how scary, and just two-wheel drive, I mean, that's scary. I mean, I could see why the Widowmaker moniker exists.
Oh, for sure. But you get somebody that gets confident a little bit and starts really pushing it in his turns.
Yeah. Well, you got a guy that has more brains than sense, you know, or I mean, excuse me, more money than sense is what I was looking for to say.
He's got the brains, he's got the money.
Yeah. No brains, tons of money, and they go out there and they go rip on this car, and they're like, look, this thing will bite you. It'll bite you bad if you're not careful. But what an awesome first car to review.
what an amazing first air cool for me.
Yeah.
To start my
what a way to ruin you. It's like, I've never driven an air cool before, but you drove a 964 Turbo. Go for it. And not even just any. Like, one, it's super low mileage, super tight. Car's in fantastic shape. He's had the whole refresh done on the motor. You know, just brought it back to, because the guy he bought it from, it was sitting for 3 years. And, you know, he didn't do anything elaborate. He just, everything refreshed. You know, seals, resealed everything. Basically broke the motor apart. Woo.
That's not bad. Not bad, Turbo. Not bad. That was the second gear. Oh, and it's, I couldn't, another 100 horsepower? No. Not safely.
enough to like let us take the car. Like so many things to you. We're just keeping his name private just because he's one of those guys who likes to, he doesn't want to show off, he doesn't want to boast, but we're close enough with him where we can jaw with him and he can be real with us. So that's kind of the great part about it. But yeah, such an honor to be able to just say, hey, here you go, guys, go have fun. That was the 964 Turbo, beast of a car. We both want one, both can't afford one. What else is new?
Where do we go from here?
Yeah. The want's real, the affordability is not real. And we home. Guys, we want to thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode and us going over this 964 Turbo. If you enjoyed it, please think about subscribing below. Also comment below, what do you guys think about it? Did you think the 964 Turbo is badass? Do you think this should be considered a bad boy even though it's not a 3.6? What are your thoughts on it? Are you guys NA guys only and you only care about the narrow body? What do you feel about the wide body car? Let us know in the comments below. We'd like to have you guys' opinion in there. Also, want to give you an update. The virtual membership is out currently on pcartalk.com. What that is a Q&A session, and it's going to be a live feed at the last Tuesday of the month. It may grow. It could be every Tuesday, depending on how you guys control that. The more members we get, the more often we'll do it. And you can only become a member by signing up, and then you'll get the private link to the chat. And we're going to basically do a live feed with you because we think that's a great way to interact with you guys. And additionally, at the end of the show, only to members, we're going to give away a free item. Who knows what that item may be? It may be a free hat, it may be a shirt, it may be something signed by some race car driver. We don't know. So that's going to be in there as well. But also, hey, we're reviewing cars. We're going to be reviewing new cars, old cars, but that's not all of what we're going to do. Obviously, this is Mixed Bag Friday for a reason, but if you think you have an interesting car, get on to pcartalk.com, send us an email, send us a picture of your car, send us a description, and maybe we'll review your car next. Thank you guys for joining. We're out.